I'm speaking to you from outside the Rehabilitation Center of the Greater Pittsburgh Guild for the Blind, and beside me is the director of this Rehabilitation Center, Mr. William Gallagher, and we see some people in fencing garb and actually taking some instruction here. Who are these people, Mr. Gallagher?
These are trainees at the Rehabilitation Center. They're in a course in fencing, which helps to be, so the person be more independent, more balanced, more coordination, posture. It's one of our courses in the program.
And they are people who have had sight, is that right?
Yes. We only accept individuals who grew up, did things in a seeing way, and then became blind. We work with adults who have lost their sight. It is a 16-week program for total rehabilitation.
Isn't it rather unusual to be teaching blind people to fence?
Well, in one way, yes, Mr. Stewart, but in another way, we feel no. Fencing in the program is not for recreation, but for rehabilitation, so that the individual may build up more confidence in himself when he returns to the community to do many of the things that he had done before he had lost his vision.
And how can they fence? Maybe I should ask Mr. Wafa that, I guess, as the instructor, how he gives them their instruction in fencing. Right now, maybe we could listen to Mr. Wafa, who is your fencing instructor, and see what he is saying.
Extend your arm. Learn. On guard. At ease. Now correct yourselves. Use my voice as a forward clue and the blower on top of the door as your side clue, and correct your position. Good. You want the bout now? Everybody back off the strip. Everybody back off the strip. Take your masks off. Mr. Balser and Mr. Haynes. Mr. Balser and Mr. Haynes. Mr. Balser on my right, Mr. Haynes on my left. I'm standing right in the center strip.
Mr. Wafa, you're setting up a bout now, are you?
Yes, I am.
And what will they be doing? What will we be expected to see here?
Well, as you noticed, Lyle, that they are standing on the west side of the strip, and when I call their name, they go to the strip through their spatial relations sense. And they must go to the end of the strip where there is iron bar, their metal bar, and they feel their way to the on-guard line. And from there they stand at ease. I didn't tell them to stand at ease. They stand at ease and wait for the command of the, are you ready? When I say, are you ready, you watch them and they'll come, they salute each other, come on guard, and we start the fence at the command.
All right, you go ahead, and I'll ask you questions as they come to mind here.
Good, that's fine. Are you ready? On guard, ready, fence. They are now probing with the plate until they establish contact. They have established contact. Now watch them establish it. They're attacking. Miss on the back.
Do you have to teach any special fencing techniques because of their blindness?
No, we follow the same course that I teach in beginners anywhere. No change in the course. Halt, foul, and pass. Step back. Ready? Fence.
Is there a special benefit of fencing to these people who can't see?
Fencing is a wonderful instrument for sensory training. It trains the entire sensorium of the human being. Halt! I have to watch them because they come too close together. Halt! Are you ready? Fence. We are not necessarily trying to make fences. Halt, pass. Halt, ready? Fence. Out of the trainees, but the exercise, manipulation of the blade. Almost halt. Touch against right. Mask off and salute. To see how they go to each other, they talk to each other so they can locate each other.
In other words,
they shake hands. They must follow the same fencing etiquette we have in the big tournament.
And how long have they been here now?
This is the 14th week. 14th
And
week.
how long have they been fencing?
They've been
And
fencing.
the whole time?
They have been drilled in position and movements for 10 weeks, and they start crossing blades with each other on the 11th week. So actually, this is the 4th week of actual combat. As you see, they're not doing very badly at all. Through the sense of hearing, they can localize and estimate the opponents. And the contact of the blade also will help them determine the position of their opponents. And then from there, they can commence fencing, following the same simple rules of fencing: extension lunge, or beat lunge, or disengage lunge, all the simple movements that the normal fencer would take.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wafa. It's been very interesting. That's all our time from here. Let's see now where the magic carpet will take us next.